All right, Final Fantasy VI fans, it's time. Magic Warrior Terra, Adventure Locke. Are you guys ready? I know I'm ready. So let's get in here. First of all, let's start off with a Magic Warrior Terra here. Her chaining frame family didn't really get changed that much. It's Chaos Wave and Chaos Wave Awaken. I'm going to highlight Chaos Wave Awaken here so you guys can be reminded that they did mess around with the Chaos Wave Awaken chaining frames not too long ago. It's 42, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, so it's an 8-hit skill. It's actually really easy to do. The main problem with it is, well, you know, nowadays you're going to be using Magic Warrior Terra or Archmage Kefka to chain with this new Chaos Wave Awaken thing. Outside of that, though, both those characters pretty new. That's pretty fine. That's pretty all right. But we don't know what other characters in the future are going to get Chaos Wave Awaken, if any at all. So if that's something that you might find as a detriment, not having a plethora of different people to all chain with, then that might be a downside for Magic Warrior Terra for you. For me, usually when I use a character, I look to use like a dupe or someone who looks who almost has the same exact rotation as Magic Warrior Terra. So it's not that big of a downside for me. Let's get into her TMR here, though, with Terra's Sword. Terra's Sword here, 87 attack, 135 magic with 20% magic as well. And as the name implies, it is indeed a sword. Her super TMR here is Love's Whereabouts. Increases magic by 80% when equipped with a sword, and also decreases MP use by 10%. So out of these two things, I do like the TMR way better than the super TMR. The super TMR, you know, it's got that nice 80% magic. You have to be wearing a sword with it, which you can use, you know, Terra's own TMR for. And then MP cost decreased by 10%. The MP cost decreased by 10%. It's okay, but I'm not going to be like going crazy over it. So Love's Whereabouts, there's lots of ways in this game to get you know, a high amount, 60, 70, 80% magic in the materia slot now. So it's just okay. The TMR here, you know, it's 135 magic. You're probably going to be using this to proc her trust ability. If you're going for a true double hand build, it's going to hurt you a little bit there because the magic on it itself, like the actual raw magic stat on it, isn't anything insane. You know, it's not like 150, 160, 170. It's 135, so you'll lose a little bit of magic from true double handing, just Terra's Sword. If you're true dual wielding, though, totally go for it. Put this on true dual wield Terra's Sword, and then like whatever else that you want to have access to, and you're gonna be having a good time. Put up item world percentage magics on both of them, and make sure you are wearing either one of the two, though, for her trust ability. We'll have to talk about that as usual down below. Equipment selection: she can use daggers, swords, staves, rods, guns, and maces. Guns. Terra the gun girl. I did not know. Terra the gun girl. Really weird. Okay. I'm sure that there's something in lore wise why she's running around with guns. I know her old form used to be able to use guns too in Trans Terra, but still, like, every time I see a gun, I'm like, oh, okay, hold up. Now she's got light shields, hats, clothing, and robes as well. Let's go down in here. Let's get into her special skills, her actual kit, as you call it. Dual cast, nice. Now she has Refreshology. It's a 10-turn cooldown available on turn 1. Fully restores her MP, and then increases the multipliers for Chaos Flare 2, Chaos Light, Chaos Wave 2, and Chaos Wind. These will be her main damage dealing skills by 1.0 for 3 turns. So a pretty good skill here. It gives you a little bit of damage, and then it's going to fully heal your MP. And then she has Flame Riot, Arrow Riot, and Saint Riot. So what these all do, these all attack with like a low multiplier 6.0 of their respective element. And then they're going to give you an increasing over time Imperil. So it's going to be a 75% Imperil when you use it. The next turn, it's going to auto-cast 100% Imperil for 2 turns. And the turn after that, it's going to auto-cast at 120% Imperil. So the turn you cast at 75, next turn 100, turn after that 120. So it's going to give you an increasing over time Imperil if you want to time your big damage dealing skills for 2 turns after you get the Imperil rolling up. So it hits that 120% mark. That's what you want to be doing there. She's got a flame version, a wind version, and a holy version, or light as it's called. They always call it holy. But and then I have chaos conversion, chaos control here. Steals a debuffs to attack from all allies except for the caster, and then increases your own magic by 150% for 3 turns to the caster as well. So if you have attack break on your team, she can steal the attack break from you. It's a really, you know, niche, nuanced skill here. She can steal attack break debuff. All right, from your physical damage dealer. So pretty cool. Madeleine's Palm cures 4,000 HP and 100 MP to the caster. Cures Magic Break to the caster. Increases your limit burst gauge by 7.5 crystals. Madeleine's Hope Buffs your fire, ice, and lightning resist by 60% for 3 turns to all allies. Increases evocation gauge by 3, so a little bit of evocation stuff there, but not something that she'll really use. Now these next skills, Chaos Wave 2, Chaos Flare 2, Chaos Wind, and Chaos Light. These are going to be her damage dealing skills. They all have consecutive damage increases, and they are non-elemental or have an element associated with them. So Chaos Wave 2 here is a magic damage 1.0 multiplier with the first 7 hits, and then that last hit is going to be a 5.0 multiplier with consecutive increase. It's going to go up by a 2.0 multiplier each time you cast it, 5 times max, for a 15 times max multiplier total on that second hit to all enemies. So it's going to be a 16 times multiplier, 1 for the first part of the attack, and then 15 for the second part of the attack once it's fully maxed out. So a 16 times multiplier max. Now this skill in particular isn't going to be used that much because it's non-elemental, but she does have a Chaos Flare 2, Chaos Wind, and Chaos Light. These all do the same thing. They all are 1.0 multiplier, and they stack up to a 14 times multiplier max on that last hit for a fire version, a wind version, and a light version. These also all get multiplier increases. As you could see when we went over Refreshology, we gave everything a 1.0 multiplier increase. This is going to pop up a couple more times. This 1.0 multiplier increase is going to be a little bit better than what it seems like on paper. It's going to apply to both parts like usual. So it's going to apply to that first hit. It's going to apply to that second hit. So that's going to be a 2.0 multiplier increase. This is going to be a 16.0 multiplier increase right there. And she's going to have a couple more ways to increase her multiplier. So they are going to be able to hit up above 20 times multipliers, guys. So double Magitech and triple Magitech is her dual and a triple cast. Everything except for Chaos End, which we'll get to, I'm sure. Don't worry. And complete magical activation here. 6 turn cooldown available in turn 1. Decrease fire, wind, and light resistance by 100% for 2 turns to all enemies. Increase magic by 200% for 2 turns to the caster. And enables quadruple Magitech for 2 turns to caster as well. So big magic buff, 100% imperials all around, and give you quadruple Magitech once again. Now she also has a Riot Blade here. 3 turn cooldown available on turn 3. Magic damage 6.0 multiplier with ignore 50% spirit to all enemies. Then it also drains their MP to you as well with a 0.2 MP drain multiplier. Then it's going to do 81% of your own HP to yourself in damage, but then it's going to unlock Chaos as End in Madelaine's memory. And this also is going to be the Chaos Wave Awakened Chaining Family. Now you can't use this until turn 3. I really wish they would have made this usable on turn 1. But, I mean, what are you going to do? But what these two skills do, we'll go down there right now so we can look at them. So Madeline's memory here is going to allow you to quadcast Chaos End. And then Chaos End itself is going to be magic damage with a 0.5 multiplier with ignore 50% spirit to all enemies. Then it's going to be another 7.5 multiplier with ignore 50% spirit to all enemies again. And this is going to give you 100% fire, wind, and light resistance down for 3 turns to all enemies. Increase your limit burst gauge by 9. And then give you a 2 times multiplier increase to Chaos Flare 2, Chaos Light, Chaos Wave 2, and Chaos Wind for 3 turns. The caster also cannot be dispelled. Now remember, this multiplier is going to apply 2 times, so it's basically a 4.0 multiplier to each of those skills. Very strong there. I'm just going to knock that up to a 18.0 multiplier when you have those up. And then she also is going to have a passive that we didn't go over quite yet because we went down here to see this stuff, but she also has another 1.0 multiplier right here, which is going to double down on the fact that her skills have 2 different parts that hit into being a 2.0 multiplier. So you have 20.0 multiplier if you have access to Chaos Flare 2, Chaos Light, Chaos Wave 2, and Chaos Wind increases from Chaos End. I know it's a lot of chaoses, guys. It's a lot of chaoses. Secret Magitech increases resistance to sleep and confuse. She gets multiplier increases to meltdown, ultima, blazaja, faraja, thundaja, no one cares. She has dual wield, and then she has 50% true dual wield and 50% true double hand here. So whichever one you want to go for, I'd suggest dual wield if you have a little bit of gear for it. But dual wield is very, very strong, so does true double hand. Madeline's a protection, MP plus 30%, fire, ice, and lightning resist plus 40%, MP plus 10% recovery per turn, auto cast overflowing magic at the start of the battle, which we'll go over. Inherited power gives you magic and spirit 30%, makes you immune to sleep. She gets 30% magic. All right, moving into her passive. She's going to be immune to sleep and confusion. She's going to have natural dual wield. On top of natural dual wield, she's going to have 50% true dual wield magic or 50% true double hand magic. So she's got access to both. She does have MP plus 30%, fire, ice, and lightning resist plus 40%. Auto recover 10% MP per turn. Very nice. A magic and spirit plus 30%. Immunity to silence. 30% magic when equipped with a sword or a rod. 25% true dual wield magic. And then another 50% true double hand magic. So now she's at 75% true dual wield, 100% true double hand. She does have 30% physical dodge, 100% high tide, and MP, or magic, excuse me, plus 20% there as well. Now, powerful human heart, which is her trust ability, so you need her TMR or super TMR on, is going to give her 30% magic, 30% MP, and then give her a 1.0 multiplier increase to Chaos End, Chaos Flare 2, Chaos Light, Chaos Wave 2, Chaos Wind, and Riot Blade. You definitely want to have this ability, so you're going to have to wear her TMR or her super TMR. And if you're going true double hand, you're going to have to go true double hand with her own TMR. If you're going true dual wield, then you use her sword in combination with something else to make it a powerful rod or whatever have you there. She also autocasts Powerful Human Heart at the start of the battle, which will keep that in mind. And she also autocasts Unleash Power at the start of the battle. This is because she's a CG character. This is going to give her her limit burst right away there. Human Esper Mediator, 25% magic when equipped with a rod, as well as 25 magic when equipped with a sword. Auto casts Human Esper Mediator at the start of the battle, so she's got a lot of auto casts. 20% HP, and then the girl who knew love, she gets 25% more magic when dual wielding, and then another 50% true double hand magic. And then anytime for 3 turns when your HP drops below 21%, you're going to have an upgraded limit burst. So let's look at her conditional counters here. Powerful Human Heart is going to autocast, and she's going to start with quadruple magic unlocked on turn 1. Very nice there. Unleash Power is going to give her her full limit burst. Human Esper Mediator is going to fill your evocation gauge by 2. And that's going to be that good stuff there. Overflowing Magic is going to be a 100% magic buff. Yay. And then we have the Madeline's Memory and Chaos End that we were talked about before. Also, remember, Chaos End is going to get a buff by 1.0 with this Powerful Human Heart, which is going to go in here 4 times because it's 2 different hits, ignore 50% spirit. So this 1.0 multiplier is actually a 4.0 multiplier increase at the end of the day. So it's going to be a naturally 16. So it's going to go back up to a 20 multiplier as well here. So looking forward to that. Chaos End. Now her magic spells, she has full life, which I would, donate as a good spell. A Dispelga as well. The rest of them really not so much. I mean, we have Meltdown, Ultima, Break, Thundadra, Blizzadra, Faradra. Maybe you use Kiraga for like an emergency heal, but that's pretty much all that's going to be. That's pretty much all the magic she's going to use. Now she does have Riot Blade. Lotus is her limit burst here of choice. Increased magic by 250% for 3 turns to the caster, can't be dispelled. Magic damage 19.75 multiplier with another 50% spirit to all enemies. Enable skill for 3 turns to the caster, quadruple magic tech. Now if you have the upgraded version, which means that in the last couple of turns you were taken below 20% HP, you're gonna have this upgraded one, which is gonna give you a 300% magic buff for 4 turns. The multiplier is going to be 29.5 with ignore 50% spirit, and then it's going to unlock quadruple magic tech for 4 turns to the caster instead of 3 turns. So definitely worthwhile to make sure you go ahead and get that that upgraded version. She does have a skill that will give it to you for free, pretty much, because you have access to, I think it's a Riot Blade. Riot Blade. Yeah, Riot Blade will do 81% of your HP and damage, which will set up your limit burst to be upgraded for the next couple of turns. Because remember, if you go down here at her final passive, the limit burst gets upgraded for 3 turns when your HP's drop below 21%. You don't have to get dropped below 21% and then do it. Once you get dropped below 21%, you have it available for you to do a couple of times. Also, I do believe you can like double Graviga yourself. If that's something you're looking forward to doing, just double Graviga your entire party. I know some people are doing that with FF6 characters to make sure that they get the upgraded version of their limit burst. So with those couple things in mind, there you go. Magitech Warrior Terra, looking pretty powerful, pretty spicy. Let's go in here to Adventurer Locke, though. For right now, he's the stardust rate chainer. His TMR is the first rate treasure hunter. 60% attack when equipped with a dagger and 100% charm resistance. So this TMR is actually pretty good. Makes you immune to charm, which is number 1. Then also can give you 60% attack when equipped with a dagger. The problem with that, though, there's not that many good daggers that you want to put on a damage dealer, right? Because, you know, you can put on your Bowie knives and high tide daggers and stuff on your supports all you want, but this is percentage attack, so you kind of need a dagger that you're looking out to do a bunch of damage with. There's a couple super TMR ones that do have some nice attack elements on them, like Nyx's dagger. And then there's also Locke's dagger, which is 165 attack dagger with high speed evasion, 30% physical dodge, 20% magic dodge. And even though this has 165 attack, which is pretty high for a dagger, even then, you're probably going to be putting this on a tank or something to give them that physical dodge and that magic dodge. So even then, no one wants to use daggers to do damage yet. Not really. I mean, there's a couple of people, right, with Nyx's dagger, but a dagger like this is probably going on a tank. And I know a lot of you guys out there are looking forward to Locke's dagger for the tank build, and if so, that's what you're going for. Go for it. I'm not particularly, just because I can hit dodge already, and this allows you to hit dodge and then, you know, get some extra beefiness. That's the thing that sets it apart. Getting that extra tankiness so you can survive the non-dodgeable attacks or survive the magic damage dealing attacks while you have a 100% dodge character. That's definitely what you're looking at this for. That's what set this apart from the rest. So pretty good TMR, either terrible or amazing super TMR, right? If you're just using this without the dodge, like you're not even using this to build dodge, I don't know why you're using Locke's dagger. That's when it would be terrible. If you're building dodge though, this thing's absolutely amazing. So top tier Locke's dagger, super TMR there. Equipment here: daggers, swords, great swords, whips, throwing weapons, and fist weapons. Armor selection: light shields, hats, helmets, clothing, light armor, heavy armor. Let's get into his innate abilities here. We have escape. In case you don't want to ever fight anybody, you can just escape the battle. We have Hazy Step, which evades one physical attack for 2 turns to all allies. Okay, it gives everyone 150% high tide for 2 turns, and it gives you a multiplier increase to Hydrolysis Dagger and Submersion Dagger, which are your 2 go-to damage dealing skills. Hazy Step is actually pretty good, due to the fact that it does give Mirage to your whole party. Also gives that high tide buff, and then, you know, also helps you do a little bit more damage with Adventure Locke the next couple of turns. He's got Steel, Suppression Throw, very basic Stardust Ray 1.8 mod skill. Nothing really to go talk about, to be honest there. Now we have Armor Hunt, Mind Hunt, Magic Hunt, and Power Hunt. These are all single target breaks, and they are 70% for their respective stats. So we have Defense Break, Spirit Break, Magic Break, and Attack Break. They also have small secondary effects, so like Armor Hunt, which is a 70% defense break for 4 turns to one enemy, also gives everyone on your team 45 MP. Or the Spirit Break is going to give you 2 to 4 Limit Burst Crystals to all members on your team. The Magic Break is going to mitigate magic damage taken by 20% for 3 turns to all allies, which is probably the most significant one, is that he has a skill that breaks magic by 70% for 4 turns, and then mitigates magic damage for 3 turns with a buff to your entire party. Then his Attack Break also heals your party by 2,500 HP. So these skills are actually all pretty good here. The weakest one, I don't know which one would be the weakest one. Maybe the one with 45 MP gain to your whole party, but even still, that's insane. That makes this skill cost nothing for Locke, and then heals everyone else by 45 MP. So very, 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 very good skills right there. The only downside is they are single targets. So if you're looking to needing to break AoE, like 3 or more monsters, you're not going to be able to do that with Locke, with these skills anyways. Now we have Inhibition Throw, which is a 65% defensive spirit break to all enemies. We have Obstruction Throw, which is a 65% attack and magic break to all enemies for 4 turns there as well. And these are also AoE Stardust Ray chaining skills. So you can do a little bit of AoE chaining with Stardust Ray, get those breaks in there that we're talking about were not really available before. These are 65% compared to the 70. You don't have the extra effects like mitigates magic damage and stuff. But hey, she does have AoE breaks there for you with his Inhibition and Obstruction Throw. Now we move on to Hydrolysis Dagger and Submersion Dagger. Hydrolysis Dagger is going to be a 4.5 water physical damage multiplier to one enemy. It's also going to add water to your physical attacks for 5 turns to the caster. So this is going to be Locke's main imbue, and then Submersion Dagger is going to be his main in peril and main damage dealing skill. So Submersion Dagger is Stardust Ray as well. Physical damage 1 point multiplier for the first 9 hits, and then a 4.5 multiplier for that final hit. And it's going to be 120% water and peril. Now, this skill looks like it does no damage whatsoever, but keep in mind, Submersion Dagger has 2 different parts into it that are broken up, right? The first 9 hits is a 1.0 multiplier. That last it's a 4.5. So anytime we get some sort of multiplier increase, it's going to apply to both parts of this attack. So we'll have to come back. Right now it's a 5.5 multiplier. You can get it up to just under like a 20-ish point multiplier, which isn't the worst thing for a character like Locke, who's like a breaker, damage dealing, supportish character. Which damage dealer is pretty much the last thing on his mind, but he still can do some okay damage. So double dagger allows you to dual cast, as you can see all these things up here outside of steal and escape in his cooldown skills. I'll Protect You is a 74% attack, defense, magic, and spirit break for 3 turns to all enemies, and gives yourself a 200% attack buff for 4 turns that can't be dispelled. And it's going to add water to your physical attacks for 6 turns as well. Forever Rachel is a 6-turn cooldown available on turn 1. Does 81% HP in damage to yourself. Puts auto revive of 1% HP for 3 turns to all allies except for the caster. And then increase your limit burst gauge by 30. Forever Rachel, listen, I know what this skill is here to do. It's here to set up your enhanced limit burst. That's what it does it very well. It does the damage for you, so your limit burst is going to be enhanced the next couple of turns. It gives you 30 limit burst crystals, so you're going to have access to your limit burst whenever you want it the next couple of turns. And then this auto revive 1 HP for 3 turns to all allies except for the caster. That is so bad. You can't make it just 20% HP. 1% HP, like you're gonna get back up. And like a stiff wind is gonna blow your character back down to the ground. 1% HP auto revive. But I understand Forever Rachel's really kind of being in here to make sure you get that enhanced limit burst. I wish it was dual castable because it really doesn't do anything else. The turn you use it, this is pretty much a do nothing turn. To get your enhanced limit burst enhanced, but hey, what are you gonna do? It is there in case you need to use it. It's a pretty bad skill outside of that though. Now we also have You're That Thief. 3-turn cooldown available on turn 3. Physical damage 1.0 multiplier to 1 enemy, followed by a 6.5 multiplier to 1 enemy on that final hit. Increase limit burst gauge by 200% high tide for 3 turns to the caster. Enables Call Me a Treasure Hunter exclamation point for 2 turns as well. Stardust Ray frames coming out here, being strong. Everything he does is Stardust Ray. So You're That Thief. You can't dual cast it, but if you're true dual wielding him, which you should be, this will cast 2 times the same turn you're using him. So a little bit of a multiplier, 7.5 multiplier, not that great. You better hope that Call Me a Treasure Hunter is worth using this skill, because right now, not so much on the rest of his stuff. Now for passives here, attack and HP 30%, 100% high tide. He's got natural dual wield. He has fire and earth resist plus 30%. Evade 5 physical attacks for 1 turn when HP drops below 21%, which is very, very, very strong. If there's a way to reproc this over and over and over, you know, you could make it maybe so he never dies, to be honest with you. Camouflage, chance of being targeted decreased by 50%. His rare item drop rate 100%. A defense and MP plus 20% with an auto heal attached to it. Chance to counter physical attacks with Vengeful Steel. Vengeful Steel here is going to be a skill that is going to steal an item from the enemy and give yourself a 100% limit burst gauge fill rate for 2 turns to the caster as well there. Feelings for Rachel is going to be 30% defense, and he's going to get poison, blind, paralysis, and petrify immunity of 100%. He's going to have the True Dual Wield Mastery 6 times multiplier cap, 50% True Dual Wield. Wow, 50% True Dual Wield so far? Nice, dude. 50% attack with a dagger. Then his TMR or Super TMR enabled ability here is going to give him attack and MP 30%. Increases equipment attack by 50% when dual wielding. And then auto cast Farewell to the Past at the start of the battle. 40% attack, increases Phoenix's bonus attack by 150%, 20% spirit, and then increases multipliers by 1.0 to Call Me a Treasure Hunter and Suppression Throw, and then 3.0 to Hydrolysis Dagger, Submersion Dagger, and You're That Thief. Upgrades limit burst for 2 turns when HP drops below 21%. So unlike Terra, whose limit burst is upgraded for 3 turns, Locke is only upgraded for 2 turns. Then we can see Vengeful Steel is the counter with the steel attached to it. Farewell to the Past gives you triple dagger right away, so that's going to be helpful at the start of the fight. If you have his TMR or Super TMR on, you're going to get that triple dagger, which allows you to triple cast a lot of cool stuff. And then we have Call Me a Treasure Hunter, which does a little bit of damage. What is this going to be? Like a base 10.5 multiplier, but then it gives a 3.0 multiplier increase to Hydrolysis Dagger and Submersion Dagger for 4 turns as well. It also enables Triple Dagger for 2 turns again. And then his Limit Burst here is Split Mirage, the unupgraded version. This will be a 24.5 multiplier to one enemy, decrease water resist by 110% for 3 turns to one enemy, decrease attack defense magic and spirit by 74% for 3 turns to one enemy, and then he also has a 79% attack defense magic and spirit break for 1 turn to one enemy. So he's going to have a single target break of 79, and then that's going to wear off, get replaced by the 74 for the next couple of turns. It also has that nice 110% water imperil. Now, if you have the upgraded version, is just going to be, it's going to be amazing. But the upgraded version is going to be 120% water imperil, 39 times multiplier instead of a 24, 39 times multiplier, 84% attack defense magic and spirit break for 3 turns to one enemy. So full on 3 turns, and then you're gonna get the 5.0 multiplier increase to Call Me Treasure Hunter, Hydrolysis Dagger, Submersion Dagger, and You're That Thief. 5.0 multiplier increase for 6 turns. So if you can get this enhanced Limit Burst off 1 time every 6 turns, you're gonna have a permanent 5.0 multiplier increase to those skills, and that's gonna double down on each of those skills. That's gonna be a 10.0 multiplier increase there. That's gonna help out a lot. So let's see. How much can we buff up Submersion Dagger? So we have 5.0 multiplier here from his Limit Burst. We have a 3.0 here for 4 turns. So it's gonna be 8 from You're That Thief, and then we have another 3 here. So 9, 10, 11. That should be everything. I mean, if you wanted to count, you can count Hazy Step, but we're not gonna count Hazy Step for that 1.0. So we have an 11.0 multiplier increase right here. And for a supportive character whose main job is to break and do a little bit of utility, he's gonna have a grand total of, what is this, 11 and 11, 22, 23, 27.5 multiplier on Submersion Dagger. That's pretty good. 27.5 multiplier on Submersion Dagger. You got to work for a little bit. You have to get your Limit Burst off upgraded. I told you guys to be a little slippy today. Oh man, dude, this is not cool. But you have to use You're That Thief with Call Me Treasure Hunter and then get that Limit Burst off. But then you can be pounding people with a 27.5 multiplier. So that's not that bad. It's not that hard to do, to be honest with you. I really wish you could triple cast Forever Rachel. I don't know why these skills in here aren't double and triple castable. They really should have been at least triple castable, so you can do it on turn 1, but you just can't. That's what I really wish that would have made him a lot better. Just because you'd be able to come in here on turn 1 and use, like, and maybe make You're That Thief available on turn 1. I mean, obviously it's take away all his weaknesses, he'd be a better character, right? Yeah, of course. But if you could come in here and like Forever Rachel, You're That Thief, and then something else, you know, like water and be yourself somewhere. Oh, with I'll Protect You. Yeah, if you could start the fight out with just your 3 cooldown skills. Oh man, that'd be so strong. Get in there with your strong break, do damage to yourself, get your break up, so you can use it what, 2 turns from now or whatever, and then You're That Thief. Oh man, that'd be really good. Or at least I'll Protect You, You're That Thief, and then do some damage, then Forever Rachel and something else the next turn. Who knows? But as far as how good are his Locke and our girl Magic Terra right now, should you pull for them? So Locke, it reminds me of an alpha / beta version of Riku from Final Fantasy X. I did do a video not too long ago that was, what was it, like top most important characters for you to UFC in the future with the UFC change. And Riku's in there. Riku's one of those characters. Riku's really powerful, and Riku kind of does what Locke wants to be doing, but like does all of the things that you want and more. And she's just absolutely insane. So if you're looking for a character like that, you want a character like that, like a thief character who's got the thief supportive options and does some pretty good damage still, then Riku is going to be the one that you're going to want to go and get. She does everything that Locke kind of does, except she doesn't have to jump through any of the hoops, and she's got no nonsense about her. So that's going to be a thing there. Now, Magic Warrior Terra, she looks like she's going to be very, fine, powerful, whatever. She can get her multipliers up to a 20.0 multiplier. The one thing I don't really like about her, I don't like this whole like Riot Blade shtick, where you need to cast Chaos End. But like Chaos End, as you can see, like her double and triple cast and her Quadracast, right? They don't let you cast Chaos End. You have to use specifically Madeleine's memory to quadcast Chaos End. But the only thing that lets you quadcast is Chaos End. So, and the only reason that I'm sitting here wanting to use Chaos End is I want the multiplier increases for my other skills. Because Chaos End's non-elemental. It's just never gonna live up to the elemental Chaos Wave skills that you have access to. It's just never gonna live up to it. And yeah, her limit burst costs 36 crystals. And yeah, quad casting this gives you 36 crystals. That's cool. But I wish there was an option to just get rid of this Madeline's memory thing, so I can use Cast End one time and then go back to using Cast Flare 2 or Cast later or whatever it is, have you. She can do the 20.0 multipliers with the increases with Cast Flare 2, Cast Light, Cast Wave 2, and Cast Wind. From Chaos End. There's so much chaos in this. Oh, it's chaotic. But she can hit the multipliers of 20-something.0. Now, if you compare it to someone like Seabreeze Dark Fina, goodness gracious, dude, I told you guys, I am wilding out. White Lotus Dark Fina. White Lotus Dark Fina just like has 20.0 multipliers. She doesn't gotta work for them. She just does it. So if you're looking for an easy to use mage that you don't need to claw your eyes out to try to get those 20.0 multipliers, on Magic, which, let's be honest, this isn't really that big of a deal anyway. To be honest, like 20.0 multiplier ain't the greatest thing, especially on a mage who isn't getting to use damage variance or 6 times multiplier cat when true dual wielding or anything like that. Then yeah, like not that big of a deal. So Magic Warrior Terra, she's good if you want to use her because you're a Final Fantasy 6 fan. She's gonna be great. But we're so close to Seabreeze Dark Fina, White Lotus Dark Fina. At this point, like the question is why. You know, she got delayed for so long, and she really didn't get that many global buffs. And she's got this kit thing, this Chaos End thing. I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate it so much. It's just like a weird, like a weird cog in the wheel. It's like, why did you do that? Why would you mix the rest for kit just not flow? It's like, oh hey, yeah, I can quadcast everything, my entire kit, yeah. Oh, except for this one very important skill, I can't cast that one. Hold up, Jones, can't cast that one. That's a special skill. That's the special chaos. That's the Chaos End. I can't cast that one. So that's how I feel about Magic Warrior Terra. I feel like Chaos End needs to just get out of here. It's so stupid that it's like that. I don't know. Anyways, guys, I'm sorry. I am some kind of sick, and it sucks. But I'm gonna go get better, rest up the rest of the day, so we can have that big day tomorrow. We have that big live stream event, guys, from the New York thing. I'm not gonna be there, but I will be on Twitch.tv. So if you want to hang out with us, Twitch.tv/Howls. The link is in the description, as always. Thank you guys for the support. You guys are wonderful people. Sorry again about this garbage review. My temperature's like 90.